Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Total Community Championship 2025. I am moving around. Excuse the Nimelia. Nimelia is, of course, casting on French on our own channel. So if any of you have French blood in you and want to head over there, feel free, of course. We support all languages here in the Total community. Especially French. Rest in peace. This is going to be the finals, which is not the grand finals. This is still not an elimination for either of the players, which are Electrostats and Sailent. They are playing for a spot in the grand finals, as you can see, which will be not next week, but in 2 weeks, as there will be a break between the finals and grand finals. The loser of today's match will go down to the losers grand finals, which will also be next week. No, in 2 weeks, sorry. And tomorrow we will have the losers finals, which is supposed to be Albert versus Illuminati. Has not been updated quite yet, there, as you can see here. So that match as well is bound to be a banger, of course. Make sure to check that one out. But today, a battle of the greats, Electrostats versus Sailent. Both done very well in the tournament so far. Barely dropping any shards in the whole tournament. And one of them has to drop down to lower finals. In a sense, this is a money match as well. It's not as much of a money match as the one tomorrow. But whoever does take this is guaranteed at least second, which in a sense does guarantee you more money. You can, of course, lose and still will win the whole thing today. Either player here can still win despite losing today, so in that regard, it doesn't lock anyone out of any position. But yes, there is stuff on the line right here, and as you can see, Electro with the double ones right now is, of course, the reigning champion as well of the TTCC. Coming in here is probably always gonna be the favorite, just based on those facts alone. But of course, also is a human being, as we have seen. Has dropped some maps where you probably wouldn't have expected it beforehand, and Sailent is gonna be looking to find the places where he can match Electro specifically well. It's gonna be the HDs, of course, for Sailent as the specialty area, while Electrostats has a more general skill in speed, difficult jumps, that kind of stuff. Electro does very well in, which is not specifically tied to any modifier, but for this week we're probably looking at the ECs, especially for Electro. As just have some last minute setting changes coming up from players. We are about to head into the first pick, which is gonna be for Sailent winning the coin flip. Aqua Ride right onto the HDs. This is, of course, gonna be very important for Sailent to win if he wants to win the whole match. Taking these all three HDs is probably the most logical way to start for Sailent. Arc Ride, definitely the hardest one of our HD maps this week, but it is very repetitive, so practice gets you very far on this. And we're off. Sailent doing extremely well so far. And Electro had a very good start, is starting to find a struggle. Found his timing again here, as Sailent also slipped a little bit, but Sailent yet to miss that champ meter. holding a 90% right now. It's gonna get him a massive advantage coming out of this intro here. There is, of course, much more to this chart, as you can see now. And probably from here on out, Electro would have to find his way back into the chart. Already starting to inch in a little bit. Very solid on these jumps, Electro, which are proving themselves to be kind of hard for Sailent. But even then, they are kind of just trading combos here and there. It's no massive advantage gained from Electro. And with how good that intro was for Sailent, that's gonna spell issues. Electro pulling out the lick, powering up already. Not gonna be holding back in this matchup. We have this slow part in the song for we're about to head into the diff spike. 11% the difference right now. Electro one champ break. And Sailent does not break champ. Has definitely practiced this song and is already showing his dominance on the HD modifier. Yet again holding on to the champ here. Almost FCing the entire disc spike there. So not only holding on the champ, but only missing 2 combos there, I think, in a row. If even. And if Sailent was feeling nervous, I hope the nerves are all gone now with this result. So we have the intro pattern making a return. But as we saw in the start of the intro, Sailent has no issue with this. Yet to miss. Making it look like he's playing with easy HD. And Electro is doing better. Much better this time around compared to the intro. But the lead is far too large. And Sailent is not letting go. We'll be taking the first map. But as we talked about, this is, of course, a map he has to win. Looking at the chart pool this week, of course, in 2-tally and Trombone Champ, anything can happen, but these players are coming in with different skill sets, different areas of expertise, and you have to think that if in a world where Sailent was struggling on the HDs, it would spell disaster for the ECs of this week, which are, of course, very fast charts. Electro, however, pulling a fast one on Sailent. We see the weight come in. We'll go for the ECFL. In the pre-game discussion between me and Maddie, we did talk about this one being quite a crucial pick in this matchup. Electro clearly having put in the practice on the FL this week, as we have seen him do before versus Albert. Go for the FL practice and actually pulling off a very good score. Has Sailent done the same? This is of course ECFL, which means the accuracy isn't the most important compared to the consistency here. And we do see misses come out from Sailent, Electro holding strong. So Electro also missing. Not quite even ground, but it is a battle between humans. Sailent missing the gap here though, that is not good. That doesn't spell a lot of confidence in the shard. And Electro still holding with only that one miss at 97, almost 98. And this shard is mostly the same pattern on and on. So given that Electro did well earlier, he should be doing well now as well. And Sailent's POV is bugging out a little bit there. It's not dropping Champ, but it's losing combos. When the Champ meter is flashing like that, it means there just is some offset desync between the spectator and the player. That is a real Champ loss though, and Electro is not missing until there, but still holds the 98. And Sailent trailing quite far behind right now. Will be stumped on the FL. Given the spots where he missed, I don't think Electro, or rather Sailent, has put in as much time as Electro did on that chart. Electro with a very good score. Sailent saying he threw, but wouldn't have beaten anyway. Probably hinting towards the same sentiment. That leaves the pick in Sailent's hands, and he will go for Tally Ho, leaving the HDs on the table for now. Tally Ho also a crucial one. Of the no mods this week, this might be the one that's the most Sailent favored. It is mostly a consistency check. So it's very consistent throughout, no massive diss spikes. It is mostly about being able to hold that rhythm steady, which is something Sailent has been very good at before this tournament. And we are getting a confirmation that the score we saw Electro set earlier on Garden Saga was in fact accidental. We were considering if that might be mental warfare from Electrostats, submitting it 5 minutes before the match, when it would be too late for Sailent to practice anyways. Tally Ho. We might see some of the most crucial maps here back to back. And that is a combo drop from Sailent, I believe. Returned by Electra though. Means Sailent does take the lead off of Ack. This is one of those songs on a good day you can definitely FC it. That does not mean it is easy. You need steady hands, and off of Ak alone, Electro has taken the lead briefly before returning it to Sailent. This is very even right now. Neither player really coming out ahead on the Ak alone. We'll probably have to see another combo drop for a huge difference to be made. But so far, both holding very strong. And yet again, off of Ak, it is going back and forth. It is so close right now. Who will be the first, if any, to drop? Electro currently holding the lead for the first time in a while, for more than a few seconds. Has breached at 97% and is climbing. That is a combo drop from Sailent. Perhaps feeling the nerves a bit right now. Is Electro gonna return it? No, it's gonna be Sailent missing another one. Heading into probably the hardest section of the shard. Electro will drop. There's still time for another one. But he will clutch it. Electro takes it by 0.46%. Game of inches on the consistency pick. This does put Sailent in a precarious situation right now, though. It is still Sailent's pick. But will we go for the HD? Or is it gonna be another no mod? Or even an easy? I doubt we will see any easies come out for Sailent tonight, but for everybody who has done the math, Sailent of course needs to win some of these no mods at least. And assuming Electro were to win all the ECs, it would be then match point in a sense for Electro. Only needed to take the ECs and one more no mod to reach that 6 win threshold. Sailent clearly deliberating a bit. It's going to be Starlight Dominion. We are going on to the HDs. It is probably a good time for Sailent to pick the HD, just for the momentum. In a case where he would lose the next map, it would go back to being Electro's pick, as Sailent has picked twice in a row, regardless of win or loss. So this is gonna be another one Sailent is looking to win. Sailent arguing that he would get bulldozed when there's only easy shards left. I doubt we would see only easy shards left. Unless... it was specifically a situation where Electro avoided the easy shards and instead went for the nomads first, which could happen. As this map has started, misses from both players in the intro, which is by far the hardest pattern in the entire chart, bar the solo maybe. But Sailent does come out ahead, which spells fortunes for him. Electro is not far behind though. This is at most 2 combos difference, if even 2. Both players handling this rhythm very well. Both dropping combo at the same note there. But still Sailent seems to have come out slightly ahead. Probably hitting more in the chain before dropping the combo. Crucially, Electro has made it within an arm's reach though, which means he is by no means out of the match. This section is slower, but it can trip you up on some of these jump timings, especially on HD. And it is, of course, followed by the solo, which is also a very tricky part. We see a combo drop there from Electro. Sailent dropping combo, but so does Electro. Almost exactly the same here. Either the solo. The lead is growing little by little, and as we get out further, these 2% have more points behind them. It's now less close than it was in the start of the match, despite the percents being the same. It's gonna come down to this outro here. And with Sailent holding on here, I think he should have it. Even gets the last if spike. It was close, but Sailent, with an early start, managed to hold the lead to the end. And that is some weight off his shoulders. So we have talked about these maps he definitely needs to win in this matchup. The HD shards has to go well. And it is back to being Electro's pick, so we have talked about it. The easy charts will probably come out here, and Stardust by Gloomhonk is gonna be the pick from Electro. Now this one, as an easy chart, there's 2 very difficult sections. But on easy, anything can kinda happen. Out of the easies this week, this one is probably the least techie, if that is a way to call it. You don't need insane stamina or insane aim. But you definitely need good aim and good stamina. And good speed. If Sailent is able to take this one, it could be an absolute game changer for the tides of the match. But the Electro is definitely scary when it comes to anything speed focused and anything on easy. The opening of this chart, of course, should be very comfortable for both players. Especially considering the easy modifier. I doubt it will be anything but 100% for a while. That is, of course, all a facade. It's only warm-up for the real boning about to happen. Both players holding on to the 100% so far. I doubt it would be the difference maker either way if we saw a miss come out here. And here we go. Both players holding on. No misses yet. But the accuracy is massively in Electro's favor right now. And we will see a combo drop here from Sailent. But here is one from Electro as well. Sailent making it closer than you would have thought at first glance. Hitting a lot of these. Electro now ahead by 3% by the end of it. A quite substantial amount of points, but Sailent's showing is absolutely no slouch on these runs. Can definitely hit some of them. In a clutch. Question remains, is it enough? When the other man in the match is Electrostats. Might not be enough to hit some of the patterns, you might need to hit all of them. This will be the last chance, and already a champ drop here from Sailent. Not quite handling the timing of the speed up. And on the other hand, Electro absolutely nailing it. Electro will drop the champ at the very end there, but it's looking extremely solid at the ending of the song. And will clutch it out. Puts it at 3-2 for Electrostats, and we are back to Sailent picking. Sailent can go for the last HD. Try and secure that one now. But will, of course, have to get other shards as well. It's not enough to just win the HD. So might be thinking about which other shard to look for here. I think Moai Police, Octon Selgriff, those are good candidates. It is going to be the HD though, bringing it out here. While he still has fingers left, I suppose. Because you have to expect after this potential Sailent win, you could see Electro just slam down the Sekijärven Polka or good rage. Try and tire Sailent out on stamina alone. Sekijärven especially is one to really break your fingers if you're not fully warmed up. We will see the Miku. Both players claiming this is the worst map. Or Electro rather claiming it's the worst map. Sailent is saying he does suck at this one. Of course, that might be the case, but the question is then who sucks less. BG will not be quite synced with the tournament host, but that's of course fine. Another player off to a bad start here, but Sailent with a slight backlid. Electro will find a combo drop here on those tricky fast slides. This is of course not really the big pain point of this chart. It is the chorus. Come up here. Electro handling the first taps well here. Find a break on the big jumps, and Sailent doing very well here. Barely dropping a single combo. We'll find a couple right there, but holds onto the champ. And is suddenly sitting with a 6% lead. Sailent is proving that despite the stakes of the match, his fingers are definitely accurate right here. If they weren't, he would not have been holding on champ throughout all of that. And that is of course going to be crucial on both Moai Police and Octon Selgriff if we do see those sharks come out. Electro with another champ drop. Sailent holding on. The lead is growing ever bigger into the outro here. It will be Sailent taking it so far. Doing well on all the HDs. As expected. But it is now yet again Electrostats pick, and as we talked about, it is likely to see just the easies come out here. From a tactical perspective, it does make a lot of sense to just try and push Sailent to his limits. Electro is known for having monster stamina. Former top Beat Saber player even. Physical freak of nature. Will go for the good rage. As a map, of course, you can kind of boil Good Rage down to two things. The ability to tap and time the downward scales consistently, and your ability to hold on in the diff spike, which is more towards the middle of the song. Shoutouts to Space Kid / Maxu in the YouTube chat, also the creator of this lovely background art for Good Rage, which we will be getting a closer look on in a moment. We're off to a banger start here. Electro. 2 in a row. No, that's 3 in a row. That is a FC. Or just super because you don't start off a combo. Electro yet to miss on these. And already we are getting proof of these players' different skill sets. From Sailent confidently taking an HD map to Electro just looking absolutely unbeatable on this HD easy pick. Yet to drop a single combo. We'll find his first gap miss right here, but the lead is already above 1 million. Heading into the spike here. This is not a very long song. So the time for Sailent to make a comeback is already running thing. That said, it would also require Electrostats to miss, which it does not seem like Electro has much intention of doing. The way he's handling these diff spikes. Continues a streak of getting these patterns. We'll hit every single one of them. Monster performance from Electrostats. Again, as expected, for Electro to take these easy shards. But we are now in the situation where Sailent has to pick no mod. I have not yet mentioned Wake Up Piano for quite a specific reason. Just unfortunately for Sailent, Electrostats is a big proponent of different similar plum shards. Plays the My Piano is Escaping shard more than anyone. That does very well on it. Those shards are of course cut from the same cloth, which is why you'd expect Electro to do well on Wake Up Piano as well. Thus it will be Moai Police. Underrated banger, this one. Shoutouts here as well, of course, to PX for the Moai background. As a shark, this one is mostly about aim, mostly about bursts of speed. There's no huge long tap runs like we just saw in Good Rage, but they are burst 4-2 in a row. Very easy to miss the gap or miss the note entirely on those. But these aim jumps are also, of course, quite big. And both players right now dropping combos will be getting the champ about at the same time. Just a combo apart right now. With another one from Sailent there, it will grow a little bit as they trade another one. That is a gap miss from Sailent, not quite finding the timing on these 16ths. There's a lot of shark left to make up the difference. For now, it seems Electro is coming out ever slightly ahead. As both players find a gap miss on the first pattern. But Electro recovering better. Will FC the second one. Holds onto the champ. Going into the slap base section. Sailent definitely waking up here. But unfortunately it seems Electro as well has managed to lock in. With Sailent continuing to be slightly more shaky on the aim. That does mean the gap is growing. We do see another gap miss there from Sailent. And now we are heading towards the end of the chart. Electro forcing match point here in these last moments of Moai. With a 6% lead. Confident to take Moai Police, the second nomad of this match. Forcing the match point, and now Sailent has to win every pick left. Which of course puts Sailent in a very difficult position. Purely off the fact that even if Sailent is to win the next chart, it will be Electro's pick. There's no longer any way to avoid having to play all the ECs or Wake Up Piano. Sailent will take Wake Up Piano himself. Challenging Electro on his home turf in a sense. But it might be just what he needs. Electro, confused, seeming to think it is his pick. Of course, not the case. Electro saying he hates Wake Up Piano. I'm not sure. I trust Electro hating shards. In the reveal of this week's map, he did say Tally Ho was also one he hated, but he seemed to do pretty well on it. Perhaps it is possible to play well despite hating the song. Who knows? Either way, it's of course absolutely vital for Sailent to take this one, given that it is match point now. Both players finding combo drops. Very even right here in the intro. I think actually Sailent coming out ahead there on the combo, only missing at the very end. But I'm not quite sure. Sometimes the combo numbers do also lie to us. With that Champ drop, of course it is gonna be in Electro's favor. There's a lot of misses all around here. This of course is by far the hardest nomad of the week. Sailent holding on well, but Electrostats still managing to push the lead ever and ever forward. Not really letting go here. This is not the longest song in the world either, only sitting at 2:25. If Sailent wants to stay alive in this match, this has to be the time to clutch up right now. So far it's doing well. Not enough, it seems. And with that, Electro will be taking this match. 6-3. Sailent not quite able to find those crucial in-betweeners on Tally Ho, Moai, and Garland Saga. With that, Electro will be going on to the grand finals in 2 weeks, facing off of whoever takes it between Sailent and the winner of Albert versus Illuminati Solid, which will also be happening next week. Interestingly, that does mean whoever goes to losers this year, or any year, probably, because I don't think we're getting rid of the losers bracket quite yet. They will be having some warm-up on the finals chart, or the last week charts, because they will have been playing in the losers grounds first. Maybe that will be a slight advantage to the one lower seed. However, of course, there's another huge disadvantage to being the lower seed coming into the grand finals. And that is, of course, the bracket reset. So Electro now comfortably sitting here has very good means to take this year, as well as the last, being the first person to win twice in a row, but only being the one, or also being the one to, only one to win any Totality Championships, of course. So it's not a lot of competition there. We will be seeing the tiebreaker come out as a means of tying up this match. Of course, nothing on the line for this one, but would be an interesting insight into how this match could have been finished had it gone to tiebreaker. It would surprise me if either player really has put a ton of time into this one, considering to get to the tiebreaker you do need to take specifically 5 shards and nothing else. It's probably not the best use of your practice time, but so far both players doing very well. Tiebreaker for this week is quite techy, all about these I'm not sure what to call them, upbeats. Tap notes into not tap notes. That proving itself to be quite difficult for our players here today. With a champ drop. I take it back. Sailent does trade right back, but there is of course still ways for Sailent to make up ground in this one. Electro does miss that triplet pattern. Of course, a triplet musically speaking, but it's a sequence of 3 notes. And with that, the lead has all but disappeared. See, now just a couple percent away. So we are getting a repeat of the tech section. We are about to see Sailent take the lead here for at least a second, for immediately losing it to a series of combo drops. There's a champ drop from Electro. And another one. Which means we might see the comeback here at the end. Oh, still getting tap runs. Reminder that this is not for anything but glory. This tiebreaker match. Electro has already won, but Sailent in the position to end it off on a good note. Literally. So Electro finds another combo drop here on the quote-unquote easy part. Ooh, but that is an unfortunate champ drop here, but it will be matched by Electro. Perhaps bailing Sailent out here on the very end. Oh my goodness. And after thinking it would be the 0.18 difference. Very close on the tiebreaker here. But Sailent does clutch it. Only showing how close these matches can be. It really does come down a lot to these modifiers and the style of the shards. And while we are not going to be revealing the week 6 shards in a second, it's going to be something all of these players will probably have their eyes out for. With that though, Electro going on to grand finals. Huge congrats. Sailent not out of the tournament. Will be going to the losers grands, awaiting the winner of Illuminati Solids and Albert Sune, which is tomorrow at 8 PM UTC. That's what we have here. I forgot which time zone we actually wrote up. That is, of course, in 24 hours, pretty much exactly. So if you don't want to calculate any time zones right now, just think tomorrow at this time, I want to be on twitch.tv/tutali to catch the elimination match between Illuminati and Albert Sune. Which is, of course, going to be a banger for sure. Whoever wins that will face up against Sailent in the losers grands in week 6. Week 6, of course, is more of an internal term. It does, however, mean that both of those matches will have a 2-week break between them. And the match tomorrow will be for money, which of course is all crowd-funded, which you can also help to donate to if you want to on Match Arena. The link is now in the chat. It's already up to 1,300, which is close to beating last year's pool, which of course is the arbitrary goal we have set, or at least I have set for this year. Last year's pool was $1,521.69. So we are getting close. With that though, we will be signing off. Remember to check in tomorrow, 24 hours from now. Same place, same time. As now, not the start of the match, of course. For the last match of week 5. And remember, it is better to toot in the sink than to sink in the toot. Shoutouts to me. Bye.